In Washington, ghost-like objects dart across the radar screen at the CAA Traffic Control Center at National Airport for several hours, traveling more than 100 miles an hour. Air Force jet fighters spend several hours chasing the objects plotted on the radar scope.
Something else is out there.
There's something else out there, okay.
Of all the banks and braes of bonny Scotland, none holds more fascination than the murky waters of Loch Ness.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose there would be.
No, he seems definite. You seem
Definitely.
definite about it. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
Blackwater Media presents Darkfall. Real-life encounters with the paranormal and the unexplained. About 12 years ago, I was working swing shifts in south central Alaska, leaving work for the 70-plus mile trip home around midnight each night. Part of the commute included a narrow, twisty road with dense woods on either side. The night in question was around mid-October, getting close to Halloween, but far too early for people to be dressing up in costumes. I was heading down the narrow, twisty road around 1 a.m., pitch black out except for my not-so-good headlights. Coming around a corner, I was startled to see what at first I thought was a man standing on the edge of the road. Instinctively, I hit the brakes, slowing down to maybe 10 miles an hour, intending to stop and ask the guy if he needed help. But I quickly realized that it was not a man. He was standing upright but shaped wrong. The shoulders were too large and hunched. The head and neck were too far forward. The face, which wasn't looking at me at first but towards the trees on the other side of the road, had a suggestion of a muzzle. There were ragged, uneven spikes running down its back. Once fully in the headlights, it was clear the thing was black and looked sort of scaly. Next to it on the ground was what looked like some kind of dead animal. A sheep, goat, or something. As my brain absorbed all of this in the space of about 10 seconds, I assumed it was some sort of well-done Halloween gimmick, though why it was placed out in the middle of nowhere at midnight was beyond me. I had now slowed down to about 5 miles an hour and was nearly alongside it. Then it turned its head towards me. Oh my God. The way it moved and the eye shine reflected in its eyes, I knew that I was looking at something, well, the best word I can use here is monstrous. Although it was dark, I got a good look at it. And this goddamn thing looked reptilian, and its eyes were slitted and hot yellow. The spikes on its back made it seem almost prehistoric. Anyway, I have no problem saying that I was scared shitless and I slammed on the gas, almost going into the ditch. I tore ass down the highway all the way home, and I avoided that section of road at night for years after. It occurred to me later that it looked a lot like the creatures in that 70s movie, Gargoyles. You know, the one with Cornel Wilde? Now look, I'm not trying to say that that's what it actually was. I mean, maybe it was. Or maybe a chupacabra or some kind of damn alien thing. Shit, I don't know. But I do know 100% that it was real. It was some kind of damn monster, and I never want to see anything remotely similar to it. Ever. There's some dark, crazy shit out there in this world. Hiding in the shadows, waiting for the sun to go down, and making you dread the moment when the clock strikes midnight.